Hey, I wanted to show you guys something right quick. ESPN did an article. They did this September 16th, 2021, where they were going to predict upcoming events that you could possibly see in boxing. And I just thought it was interesting. All right, so we're going to look at a couple of them. Okay. Number one, they said, don't be surprised if Terence "Bug" Crawford leaves Bob Arum in Top Rank right after his Sean Porter fight. And what happened? That was pretty good. Next, they talking about Canelo Alvarez and vacating the belt. See, this hasn't happened yet, but it's eventually going to happen because Benavidez said, Canelo, follow the rules. Either fight me or vacate the belt. What you think he gonna do? Fight Benavidez or vacate the belt? So that one we still got to see play out. But this next one speaks volumes. Like I said, this is September 16th, 2021. And it says, do not be surprised if Errol Spence moves up in weight and leaves the welterweight division without fighting Terence "Bug" Crawford. How did ESPN have that premonition like that? How did they know that? How did they just have a feel of what was going on? And I bring this up to show you that when I talked about PBC Al Heyman selling his fighters to Canelo Alvarez, this was always the goal. This is always what they were going to do. They wasn't never going to fight Terence "Bug" Crawford. They was only concerned with Canelo Alvarez. The fact that ESPN was able to predict a year ahead of time what was going to happen should let you know that it was never any intent to give you a undisputed welterweight fight. And wait till you read the reasons why they say Errol Spence might do it. It's going to trip you out. I'm going to put it up right here. I ain't going to read it for you. I'm going to give y'all some time. I know y'all see it because it's more profitable for Errol Spence to move up and chase the bigger names. You see that? Even they had doubts a year ago that you will ever see an undisputed fight. And even they knew how PBC, Al Heyman, and Errol Spence was moving low key. They knew it. And that's exactly what they tried to do. The only difference is Canelo didn't bite. So if Canelo did bite, do you think after a payday like that and all of what they doing with Eroll, you think Eroll what's going to go back down and fight Terence "Bug" Crawford after that? Hell no. Because at that point his career is complete as far as what his management team basically offered him to sign up. They said you're going to do this, you was going to do that, you was going to fight this person, you're going to get this belt, you're going to get that belt. Now that we done raised your profit level and all that other stuff, then we're going to sell you out to Canelo Alvarez, and boom, that's going to be your career high and career retiring payday right there, all mapped out for you. Terence "Bug" Crawford was never part of the plan. That's all this lets you know. So much so that ESPN can predict it a year ahead of time. And they got more predictions on here, but I ain't gonna go through all of them. But these are ones that I found most interesting because some of the predictions that they have, we need more time to see them actually happen. But this just goes to show you ESPN a year ahead of time was fully aware that there was a high probability that Errol Spence was not going to fight Terence "Bug" Crawford. He was going to move up in weight and chase Canelo Alvarez. Those are facts. Now it's not a myth no more. Once again, how many times do I got to keep proving this? You know, I'm just like Jay-Z in the Takeover song. I kill you, answer with a sledgehammer. I just don't do it. I overdo it. So you won't just confuse it with rap music. You know what I'm saying? I overdo it. Now, I done point out 3 or 4 ways that I done prove to you that this fight was not in the plan. And it's something that I've been saying ever since Terence Bud Crawford caught up with Errol Spence backstage. And he said, why don't I take the easy route with Sean Porter? And he said, did he mention my name? And he said, no. I told y'all back then Terence Bud Crawford was not part of the plan. He did not want to fight him. Now this is, at this point, it's facts on top of facts on top of facts. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And you don't need to feel the flames to know something is burning. Them is facts. I told y'all. Now, there's no more talking. It's no more back and forth. See, because I can prove 4 and 5 times over the position that I stand on Terence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. The only thing is, you Errol Spence fanatics, you guys can't prove what you say. You can't prove that he really wanted this fight because all the evidence has shown that he don't want the fight. And he didn't want the fight, and he didn't plan on fighting him. Y'all have nowhere to reach back and grab any empirical proof that can stand by what you say. What I say, I can literally go grab shit and put it right in front of your face, and it's not going to do anything but reiterate what I've already have said. I can prove that this was the case through evidence, empirical proof, and basic flat-out deductive reasoning at the end of the day. And what people say on camera. I can keep proving it over and over again. Now you know for an absolute fact, without a shadow of a doubt, Terence Bud Crawford was never on the table to fight. So when you talk about Big Fish, Boogeyman, he's the truth, everybody's scared of him, he's ducking, y'all can't say none of that. Because number one, Boogeyman don't move like that. Boogeyman don't run from other boogeymen. Okay? You can't say shit about collecting that 3 belts. Because the contract to Canelo let you know which way they were going. So it wasn't just about collecting 3 belts. Just like it wasn't about Terence Bud Crawford getting 1 belt. Because at first it was 1 belt. Just get that 1 belt, we'll mix it up. Didn't happen. Now we're at 3 belts. And then we'll fight. Guess what? It's also not finna happen. One thing for sure that you know that you're not getting that fight this year. That's one thing I think you all know for sure by now. The question is, will you tolerate another year without seeing the fight? I won't. I don't care what Errol Spence does. And I just started to warm up to Errol Spence again. You know, but I definitely won't be supporting nothing else that he does. Terence Bud Crawford, I'm going to support what he does because he ain't got no choice. You know? He calling out all the top guys. Let me tell you how much of a junkyard throwback fighter, boogeyman, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you how much Terence Bud Crawford is the Michael Myers of boxing. I'm going to tell you why. Not only did this dude clean out a division, 140, and became undisputed, he was feared and people were prepared to duck him before he moved up to 147. Okay? Now he cleaned out 1 division. He goes up another division to 47. Is already considered the best fighter in the division and the best fighter in the world. And check this out. Now he wants to go up to 54. And guess what? The champion at 54 is just as terrified to fight him as the champion at 147. Terence Bud Crawford had people fearing him in 2 weight classes above him before he even got there. Errol Spence was afraid of Terence Bud Crawford before he even got there. Jermell Charlo is scared of Terence Bud Crawford right now, and he ain't even went to 154 yet. Right now, that's boogeyman shit. When you move up the whole weight division and the champion already here don't want no parts with you. To the point the champion above him, above that weight division, he also don't want no parts of you. Nobody below you want any parts of you. When they asked Vasily Lomachenko to fight Terence Bud Crawford, Vasily Lomachenko's manager said that's flat out suicide. Nobody below him wanted with him. Nobody above it wanted with him, or even above that wanted with him. That's boogeyman shit. That's big fish shit. Now, Errol Spence keep talking this big fish, but your numbers don't match the big fish, my dude. You know, I know that it's not easy to sell like it was. It's not easy to sell anything anymore. But the point is, he's basing all this big fish stuff based on money and numbers. When low-key, Bud been making more money than these guys. Bud fought for a guaranteed $3 million no matter what. Bud been making more money than these guys. As far as the bottom line pay, you know, I ain't talking about when they, you know, make their deals and they pay-per-view fights and they unifications. I ain't talking about none of that. But that whole big fish is based off of numbers, and it's based off of what Jerry Jones buying his tickets. Once again, if he was a big dog, I mean, I wouldn't need nobody to buy no tickets. Just saying, though. But ESPN knew what was going down before we knew what was going down. Okay? You seen the signs, you seen the writings on the wall, and at this point in time, I hate to say it, but at this point in time, I think Errol Spence just called out Terence Bud Crawford just to save face. Because I think, once again, they don't have no intentions on fighting him. And even if Eroll is there right now, his management, he has to go against his management team. And I don't think he's going to do that. So I just found this shit hella interesting. And once again, it was another time for me to prove that Errol Spence and his handlers, you know what, let me get off Errol Spence for a minute. You know, because these boxers follow their managers and their handlers. Okay? He might want the fight now. He definitely didn't want it in the beginning, but he might want it now because I think Errol Spence has been under a lot of pressure, as he should. A lot of people have talked about he looked really bad. You got all the veterans, all the Hall of Famers picking Terence Bud Crawford. You got his own girlfriend, his own baby mama saying that you scared of Terence Bud Crawford. Everybody talking about you. It just looks bad. So at this point, you know, I mean, you could say that, but like I said, when you was hollering, let me go get these 3 belts, you knew that PBC sent the contract over to Canelo Alvarez to fight you. So when you was telling him, let me clean up my side of the street, you only clean up your side of the street, all right, to put your ass on the corner for Canelo Alvarez. That's a fact. So therefore, you can't trust anything that these guys say at the end of the day. You just can't do it, man. Anyways, that's my thoughts. I'm out.